All right, guys, today we're going to be working on guard passing. We're going to go over a Sao Paulo pass, and then we're going to go over a variation of it that I like to do that I call the pasta pass. I like to name things after food because I like food. All right, guys, so the closed guard can be really difficult to pass, especially against guys with strong legs. So this pass is one that took me a while to get halfway decent at. Triangle them a lot, which is why I started working on the second one. So the first thing we'll talk about is the basic Sao Paulo pass. So I'm going to start with kind of inside grips here on Mark. This way, if we were in some type of altercation, Mark would be unable to hit me. I'd, of course, be able to, if I wanted to, come over and hit him. What I want is an underhook. I'm going to pass this way, so I would take it on this side. Depending on what happens, there's all kinds of ways to set it up. You'll see a lot of guys that will pop up, like we talked about last week, from their knees here and then start going it that way. That's not something I like to do personally. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward, and I'm going to take the underhook on this side. I'm just going to put my arm under, and I'm going to bring my head over to the same side that I'm passing. It's important that you get your head down as you get the underhook. If you initiate the pass and you're sitting up, you're creating a scenario where your opponent can push your head away and create a lot of problems. So doing it slow, I'm just going to come forward, I'm going to roll in, and I'm going to get a deep underhook, as deep as I can here. Mark's fairly stuck here just in terms of there's not really anywhere for him to go. He could turn to his side and face me a little bit, but that just helps me, right? If he were to do that. So go back to center so I can force it. So from here, I'm just going to walk my legs. I can literally stay on my knees. His head stays down, and I'm going to sit out like this. Almost like a scarf type position, case of Katami, right? From here, I'm going to come back. I got to be very careful here of keeping this arm super tight. If I do something like this, Mark can extend this leg, take me back, right? Now I'm going to get swept. All kinds of bad stuff's going to happen. So I want to be super tight here. My leg that's on top is going to come back and around. I'm going to use that to break open the guard. This is a pass I'll use on someone that has really strong legs because I'm going to use my entire body to move them. So we're here. I get my head up. I just start walking. I sit out. And you see how his whole body's turned. This underhook's deep. If I'm up here like this and I allow him to start pushing me, I'm getting into triangle territory. All he's got to do is get that up there, right? For someone like me with really long legs, I can do that to a lot of people, so you got to be careful with it. So trace along here, get to here, just so he doesn't have room to follow you. I don't have to do that, but I don't want to have him have ability here to be able to move this leg. I just come behind it and around. I'm pressuring forward with the other leg here so that he can't go anywhere, right? Come around, break it. Now this hand, my top hand, is going to come over, and I'm going to come down to his hip area, trying to keep his legs separate. I'd like to get a full pass here. If I can't, it's not the end of the world. Half guard's fine. I'll fight from there. My heel to my butt, come up and over and windshield, replace the knee, replace it again. I've got a nice side control. So again, I'm here, blocking myself from getting hit, anything from happening. My head's going to go next to his. I roll my arm under, grab the shoulder. All I'm doing is walking his hips with me, trying to pin him. Try to fight me. Now I'm here. I'm no longer really in danger of getting triangled. I have no hip flexibility, so I need to open up a little bit here. My hand comes in just to keep him from moving. I come over. This arm, top arm, comes over the head. Slide down to the hip. I'm trying to prevent him from being able to get any kind of half guard. Heel to the butt. Come over. Switch the hips. Come in. Nice side control. One time at speed. I actually dropped it. Does anybody have any questions on this? All right, let's partner up and drill it. Try to drill it with some different body types. Those of you that are smaller, especially women, this is a good pass for you to use because you can compress somebody, keep their hips in. You don't need to use any athleticism, speed, strength, but you're forcing someone into a position that you can open up their guards and use their leg to kick up and over. Does this make sense to everybody? All right, let's run it. I want to talk about a variation of this pass that I've been working on for a while. I call the pasta pass. I go into the secondary part of passing the arm over the head right away, and then use my hips to walk around and break open the legs. I've had people, other black belts, say to me that when I've done this to them aggressively, that like they forced me past their guard because it becomes uncomfortable. So I'll do it slow to start. So I take this underhook here, and then I'm gonna pass my arm over here. But I'm gonna do so after I've already walked a little bit. So I like to be at least like here, because if I'm here, I'm kind of walking into an arm triangle, right? If Mark decides to attack that, tough to finish from the bottom, but it's not nothing, right? So I come over here, I pass this, and as I do, I dump my hip. Now from here, it's important that my weight stay in this elbow, and now I'm just gonna begin walking. Mark's guard breaks open, right? Now from here, I'm just gonna move into splitting his legs. Come up, I can push down if I need to, like this, like we did before, or I can simply switch over here, back step, come around, and come in. I find this pass to be easier to execute. I've had really good success with this. It's very hard to stop. The key to it is to get the arm over and get their knees and hips compressed. Once that happens, it's extremely difficult to stop. Where they can stop it is, if he knows what's coming, I start coming here, extend this, and get your body all the way up. No, keep your guard closed though.
Okay.
Just don't let me collapse your hip.
Okay.
This is where they can kind of stop it. I'll start moving sideways or I'll move on to something else. But if that's there, you can't execute the pass. So keep this stiff. It becomes difficult, right? Now there's stuff I can do. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm bigger though. If someone's your same size or they catch on right away, you're gonna have a more difficult time. But you could execute this at any time. Obviously we wouldn't go that slow to do it. I'm not gonna go fast yet. But again, I get this underhook, I start to move around. Maybe you think Sao Paulo, I don't know. Come here, and then I just start to move. You see how I'm misaligning his spine here? I'm taking his head that way, and then I'm gonna start moving my hips. It's gonna force his spine to curve, which breaks his guard pretty fast. We come here. Again, it's gonna depend for you how you wanna pass the guard. You can turn like we were, come around, do that. Usually what I do is just come here, back step, collect the leg, go around, come through and come back into a nice side control. This has become my go-to close guard pass, honestly. And I think there's less details and steps than a lot of the other ones. And I've yet to be swept from here. I've had people make it where I couldn't execute it because they kept their hips up and I moved on to something else. I've never gotten submitted here and I have not been swept. Doesn't mean it's not possible, just not something I've run into yet. So one time it's speed. Pretty simple. Any questions? Yeah. Yep. Do you have a question specifically or just want to see me do it?
Well, yes. So at the beginning, when we did it the first time, we put our head down. Are we not doing that at all then?
No, because when you put your head down, you're putting your head down over here.
Right.
In order to execute this. So when I'm here, I'm coming over. I'm still staying low, but the head itself becomes less important. What I don't want to happen in either one of these passes is to allow him to regain the underhook. So if I'm here and for whatever reason I do this and he pummels in an underhook, that's a bad situation. I can get my back taken. I personally will still try to pass the scarf there sometimes, but unless it's something you've done a ton, it's really dangerous. The key there is to keep this plucked. If he has this and he has the underhook, you're gonna get your back taken. There's a chance you can do it here, and it is something I do, but that is not something I recommend. So in this pass from here, boom, come through and come over. The key, just like anything, shoulders and hips are what we have to control. I have to control that top shoulder. I want to be driving it down, keeping him flat. So I'm essentially, his shoulder's flat, I'm bringing his spine this way, and then his legs are turning and he's coming this way. It's misaligning his spine in a way that he has to open his guard. Once I've compromised the hips. If I don't do that, then it's not going to happen. Anybody else? All right, let's run it.